Have you ever wondered if anal intimacy in old age is appropriate or even beneficial? Often, this is a topic that remains silent, hidden under layers of taboos and prejudices. However, the reality is that many of us, upon reaching maturity, continue to experience desires and sensations that can surprise us and even challenge our own expectations about sexuality at this stage of life. So today, I want to invite you to an intimate and respectful conversation. A chat that allows us to explore this aspect of sexuality from a medical, psychological, and emotional perspective. This space is designed for those like you who have surpassed 50 years of age and find themselves in a stage of life where the body has changed, yes, but where there is also a maturity that allows us to enjoy sexuality differently, with greater depth, and perhaps with more awareness than ever. We are going to talk openly, without judgment, about the possibilities of anal intimacy in old age, and I want us to approach this topic with all the curiosity, respect, and understanding it deserves. Throughout my experience as a doctor and sexologist, I have accompanied many people who are curious about exploring new forms of intimacy and maturity, and in many cases, anal intimacy becomes one of those experiences that, despite being wrapped in taboo, can bring a deep connection between partners. However, the first thing I want to clarify is that, as with any sexual experience, each body is different, and there is no single way to live it. What may be pleasurable for one person may not be for another, and both are completely valid decisions. When we talk about anal intimacy in old age, we must understand that the body, as is natural, experiences certain changes. The elasticity of the skin and tissues decreases over time, and that includes the anal area. This does not mean that we cannot enjoy this type of intimacy, but it does mean that we must take more precautions and be aware of the adequate preparation. For example, lubrication becomes absolutely essential as we age. Dryness can be more common, so it is advisable to use a good lubricant, whether water-based or silicone. The objective here is to ensure that the experience is comfortable and pleasurable for both parties. Often, a concern I hear from many older people is whether anal intimacy can be dangerous for their health. The answer is that if it is done properly and with the necessary precautions, it does not have to be harmful. In fact, according to studies published in sexology journals, sexual life after 50 can be just as or even more satisfying than in earlier stages of life. This is partly because at this stage, we usually have greater self-confidence and more open communication with our partners. Anal intimacy, like any other form of sexual exploration, can enrich that connection if both feel comfortable with the idea. One of the most important keys to enjoying intimacy in old age is communication. Talking openly with our partner about what we would like to try, what concerns us, or what makes us feel good is fundamental. In many cases, what can make a sexual experience pleasurable is not just the act itself, but the trust and emotional connection that is established. In old age, couples usually have years or even decades of history together, which creates a solid foundation of mutual respect and understanding. This is crucial when we talk about more delicate intimate experiences. From a psychological perspective, anal intimacy can also awaken deep emotions and sensations. Some people may feel vulnerable or insecure at the idea of exploring this form of connection for the first time in maturity, and this is completely normal. However, research in the field of sexual psychology shows that couples who communicate openly about their desires and needs tend to enjoy a more satisfying sexual life, regardless of the practice in which they decide to participate. Vulnerability, when shared in a respectful and consensual manner, can become a gateway to greater intimacy and emotional connection. It is also important that we consider some medical aspects when talking about anal intimacy in old age. With age, some people may experience health problems such as hemorrhoids or anal fissures that can make this practice uncomfortable or even painful. If you find yourself in this situation, the first thing I would recommend is to consult your doctor to ensure that there are no contraindications for you. This does not mean that anal intimacy is out of your reach, but it may require a more careful approach. Adequate preparation and patience are essential. In short, what I want to convey to you is that age is not a barrier to enjoying a full sexual life. In fact, for many people, maturity is a stage in which they discover new forms of pleasure and connection with their partner. There are no strict rules about what we should or should not do in intimacy, as long as both people feel comfortable and agree to explore together. In that sense, anal intimacy can be a completely valid and fulfilling experience if approached with respect and knowledge. You may wonder, How do you know if this form of intimacy is right for you? The answer is simple. Listen to your body and your partner. If both feel curious and want to try something new, do so with an open mind, without pressure, and always remembering that consent and the well-being of both are the most important things. Some people find that by exploring new forms of intimacy in old age, they rediscover a spark in the relationship, something they perhaps had not felt in years. This is completely normal, and, in fact, the beauty of sexuality in maturity lies in its profound capacity for reinvention and rediscovery. It offers an opportunity for individuals to explore different facets of intimacy and learn more about their evolving desires. As we age, we often find that our sexual needs and preferences shift, allowing us to embark on a journey of growth and exploration. This dynamic process can be empowering, as it encourages a deeper understanding of our bodies, our emotional landscapes, and our connection with others. However, it's essential to recognize that sexuality in maturity is not one-size-fits-all. If a particular type of intimacy, such as anal intimacy, doesn't resonate with you, that is equally valid. The beauty of mature sexuality is that there is no prescribed way to live it, and the choices we make are deeply personal. What matters most is finding what brings us joy, satisfaction, and a sense of closeness with our partner. This means honoring our individual preferences and boundaries, as well as respecting those of others. In the case of anal intimacy, there is no inherent right or wrong. The experience is shaped by our attitudes, the level of mutual trust, and the understanding we share with our partner. It is a deeply personal experience that, when approached with care, respect, and open communication, can bring greater intimacy and connection. It's about listening to our bodies, ensuring consent, and taking the necessary precautions for comfort and safety. If both partners feel comfortable and are willing to explore, it can be a gratifying and fulfilling aspect of the relationship, enhancing the bond in meaningful ways. Sexuality in maturity is not just a continuation of what we once experienced, but rather a new phase of life filled with its own unique joys and opportunities. It can be a time of rediscovery, where the boundaries of youth no longer define our desires and experiences. As we grow older, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our bodies, which allows for a more meaningful connection with our partners. In this stage of life, the pressures of societal expectations often fade, and we are free to explore our sexuality without judgment. The freedom to express desires openly and authentically, without fear of shame or stigma, creates an atmosphere of mutual respect and deepened intimacy. The joy of shared experiences, built on trust, understanding, and communication, can lead to profound emotional and physical fulfillment. What truly matters in this process is the presence of mutual desire. This mutual desire is not just physical. It's the willingness to engage emotionally, to explore each other's needs and boundaries, and to provide comfort and reassurance. Communication becomes even more important as we age, allowing us to articulate what brings us pleasure and what we need to feel loved and appreciated. There are no limits to what can be achieved in a fulfilling sexual relationship at any stage of life. As long as we continue to prioritize respect, curiosity, and connection, we can enjoy a vibrant and enriching sexual life. The key is to approach this chapter with openness, embracing each new experience as an opportunity for growth and exploration. If this conversation has stirred your curiosity, or if you have your own insights and personal stories to share, I encourage you to join the conversation by leaving a comment below. And remember, for more empowering and honest discussions about sexual health and well-being in maturity, make sure to subscribe to Wise Old Age, Sexuality, and Health. Until next time, always keep in mind that age is not a barrier to experiencing a rich, conscious, and joyful sexual life. Instead, it is a unique opportunity to explore new dimensions of intimacy, guided by the wisdom and confidence we've gained over the years.